Hi, Jack Parsons again from KMP Contracting, and a few weeks ago someone asked me about the installation of windows and doors and how we do it. So we have some of the windows already installed, but we forgot to do the video of how we do the sill. So now we have this door here, and the sill for the doors or the sill for the windows are basically, the prep is all the same. We install windows in full compliance with the National Fenestration Standard of North America. And basically the first thing that they require is that the sill be sloped. So if you look at this right here, all the sills that we have on the windows and the exterior doors, we take a piece of 1x4 and split it from corner to corner, and that gives us a 6% slope, which is what you got to have here. So Deetra, this is pretty simple. What Deetra would do would just put this down like this, even it up, and just nail it on. And that's as simple as it gets for that right there. So now, if we come over here, and this is a window that Deetra prepped yesterday, and you can see that the Resisto that we're using, and it can be any type of material, that comes out over the slope sill at 6% and goes down here. This is a 9-inch piece that comes right down and goes over it, and then the window sits right on top of that. And then typically the windows themselves are caulked all around to the 3 sides, back 2 inches on the bottom, as per the detail and as per the North American Fenestration Standard. And then the reason that this is on it is that if you get a bit of a break or anything right here, which is usually the weakest point of a window, if the sash breaks there, the water then goes down, hits the Resisto, drains out and drains right down into the vented cavity. Never causes any problems in terms of rot, durability, and basically windows installed like this will last forever. Now we are going to add the Resisto to the sides and the top and do the flashings and those types of things. We'll do that in the next segment of the video. Okay, we're going to now put the small pieces on the bottom, and then we're going to put the sides on, then the top. But at the end of this video, Janet has added the details, and if you follow the details in sequence, you'll see that the sequence comes out very nicely. So now, you just go ahead and put on the bottom piece. This comes back, like the caulking that we put underneath the flange comes back around 3 to 4 inches. Now this right here also goes back a little tiny bit, and right here you can see she's back around 6 inches and comes out over. Now once that's stuck in place and it's fully adhered, again as everything is primed underneath, then Keith got the side piece there, and Deetra will take that now and put that on, and put it in a straight line coming down, and we're pretty much, again you can see she's going up, the height is above, about 6 inches above the window, sticking 100% to the flange, and everything is primed underneath and coming right down. So you can see her there now taking her time, and that's critical in terms of what we're doing, is to make sure that there's a zero wrinkles. Deetra is an apprentice, and one of the things that we taught her to make sure that she fully understands is when you're putting on any type of a membrane, especially like what she's doing here, it's got to be 100% wrinkle free. So if you go back to the video that she's putting there, right here she's coming down there, and she's making 100% sure that there's as wrinkle free, because the smallest of a wrinkle will actually could result in a leak. So why take the risk? You're putting all this money into the Resisto. Why take the risk of having a leak with a small little wrinkle? So she can see there now. Keith, if you can push that, there you go. Deetra's doing it. Keith gets to do nothing, just stand up and watch. Okay, and again, like this, like if you could probably do it in a minute or 2 or 3 faster, but by taking her time coming down and flowing about every 6 to 8 inches and making sure that it's stuck on wrinkle free, that is the critical step. So that was part of the training when we did train Deetra to be able to do this, to come on there. So now we'll take a little break, and Keith will do the other side, and then we'll come back with the video, and then we'll do the top piece. Okay, we got the two sides of the window done right now, and Keith and Dieter are going to do the top. So go ahead, Keith.
Okay, go about an inch past the side piece.
And Keith just said to go an inch past the side piece, but again, it's the same type of procedure. The top piece of Resisto is a bit higher. We always go with 6 inches up there to be able to give us a little bit more. So it overspans the side one by an inch. If you look at where Dieter's hand is to right now. Care is taken again to make sure that we got a 0 wrinkles. And a 0 wrinkles, as I'll repeat many times, means that we got a 0 leaks. So as you can see from looking up there at the top of the window, we had cut the Tyvek and we folded it up. So now, once we get this piece on, and again everything is primed underneath that there, the OSB is primed, the window's primed, and we got that stuck on, 100% adhesion in terms of it, and a 0 wrinkles. So now, Dieter's holding out the nail, Keith's holding out the other nail that was holding that up, bring that back down, and staple it, and then we'll tape that. So we got a little bit of a correction over there to do, but that's only just a matter of a small little thing. Remember, all of the Tyvek has got to be, or all of the building wrap has got to be put on shingle, and that's what you can see that we've done here. We got a straight join down there. Normally you wouldn't have a straight join, you'd have an overlap, but we will be double taping that, and everything will work really well. There, you can see her there now doing that across, and then the vertical joints will be double. That's basically the better part of how we do it. And then the next step that we'll talk about is whether or not it's wood siding or whether or not it's vinyl siding. Because if it's vinyl siding, you actually just put the J's right onto that as it is there now. Double tape down your vertical. There you go. Keep double tape them down, and then you look at them. And if it's vinyl siding, you put your J's right around the window. You still got to put a drip edge or a flashing at the top of the window, but that's secondary to what we're doing here. So if you come back over here, you can see the straight join. It'd be a little bit complicated. We tried to say do an overlap there, but because the Tyvek is on the building, it's a little bit complicated. So she'll finish putting on the two little pieces there. You can see she's an apprentice because she's a little bit slower than Keith. But yeah, you look at it coming down there now, and now when that's all finished. So Janet, if you can zoom back a little bit and look at the window, that's how it looks in terms of it. And again, tidiness is relatively important here. So now in the next segment, we'll actually move into the strapping, because on this particular house we're using wood siding, and we want to talk about that a little bit. Okay, now Keith just finished putting on the bottom piece of strapping, but before we get into that, I want to talk about it. Here's the one that you buy. When you're strapping out for wood siding, it is important that you follow the National Building Code, which means that the piece of lat has got to be 10 mils. But in order to keep straight coming across, you got to have a narrower one right in by the window, because again, you got the window flange and you got the Resisto there. So the difference in these two right here, as you can see, is the difference in that. So first of all, Dieter will put this piece of strapping on the side of the window, and she'll bring that down, right down to the bottom of the one that's right here that Keith already just installed on it. So she'll nail that on. Sorry about that. Okay, now just to finally trim this off. Now, basically then you finish the lats right here, so you can see the difference in the lat. The one that she's putting on now is a full 10 mil, and the one that's right next to the window is 8 mil. And the difference in the two, as I said, is the thickness of the Resisto on the window flange. Now you have a perfectly flat surface across that. Well, We did the different segments to bring in how the window is done, and now Janet is going to attach the details, which will basically give you the flow of it step by step. I think there's 10 details in our what we termed detail 100. And then we're also going to add a little piece or add a different video on how to install, and or I should say how to properly seal a round top window. That's the other part of it. But again, it's important to me to really get the message of this, to sort of look at the details first and then sort of follow the execution of it. And I think you'd have no trouble to be able to install a window that will be problem free, that will be leak proof for a lifetime. That's the purpose of this video, to be able to say that's how we install. Thank you very much.